Hi guys, good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here today with you, and I wanted to speak to you about forgiveness and how to forgive. And so when I talk about forgiveness, what do I mean? Well, if we think about what does it mean not to forgive somebody or something, it means that you are in a place of feeling pain or maybe anger or hurt towards somebody, which eventually will turn into bitterness and resentment. So we want to get rid of those feelings of pain and resentment and bitterness. Why? Because if you don't, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to say welcome to anyone watching on the replay and anyone watching from my YouTube channel. So back into forgiveness. If we hold on to not forgiving somebody for what they've done to us and hurt us, we are going to have resentment and we're going to have pain. And this is like poison inside of us. And it's something that we don't want to have. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're the ones who get hurt. So when we say we want to forgive somebody or that it's best to forgive, it's actually not for the other person, to be honest. It's about you. It's because you want to be free. You don't want to have poison or hurt or anger or bitterness, because if you have it for one person, it's going to spread out and it's going to spread out to other people. And when it's inside you, these thoughts are going on in your mind. This is negativity, and that's what you start giving out rather than radiating positivity. So like I said, it starts with you, and you'll keep getting bigger and bigger if we don't learn how to forgive. And what's important is to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually and physically balanced. Forgiveness affects that, and resentment affects all those areas of your life also. So if you're holding on to this bitterness towards someone and this pain, you're not going to have proper balance in those areas. And why is it we want those areas to be balanced? So that you can connect with who you really are and live your authentic self. That's how deep this goes. It actually affects you on that much of a level. When we hold on to bitterness towards somebody, we're actually blocking ourselves off from the real person of who we are, because our real self is actually pure love. So we're always trying to live in that state, not in pain and bitter. Now, when I say forgive, it's not the same as forget. Okay, so forgetting is completely different. You can forgive and learn how to forgive, because it's a process, and I'm going to give you the 3 tips now. You do not have to forget what happened. That's completely separate. So let's jump into the first tip. The first tip on how to forgive is actually you to want to have to forgive somebody. So sometimes we don't actually want to forgive, but if you're in a place where you know you're hurt by somebody and you are angry and you're maybe resenting them and you're like, well, I actually don't want to forgive them. The problem with that is you're making a choice and you're deciding that you're going to hold on to that resentment. You're deciding, no, I'm not forgiving them. They hurt me too much. So you can make a choice. Do I want to stay in this pain and in this poison and in this resentment? Or am I going to decide, right, okay, I'll try and be mature. I'll try and be responsible. I'll try and be forgiving. I'm going to at least try to start with, okay, I will forgive the person. Because like I said, if you don't, you're making a choice to stay in that place of pain and resentment, which is poison. So the first step is, if there's someone and you're saying, okay, I know I'm hurt and I know I'm resenting them, I don't want to forgive them. You have to play it up. Is it worth it for you? Is it worth it for you to stay in that space of giving off this energy of negativity, or is it better for you to at least try to forgive? So you say, and if you decide, right, I'm going to try, that's the first step. I'm going to try and forgive this person. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you go and be best friends with them. It's just an internal an internal space within you when you decide to forgive somebody. It doesn't mean you have to ring them up and say, hi, I forgive you. It's not about that. Or you have to be really nice to them or be a certain way. It's not about that. It's an internal thing to do with you. Forgiveness is to do with you and your spirit and your inner being, and about what you're radiating out. So that is the first step. The actual want is the first step. And step 2 is to be patient. Okay, so if eventually you've decided, right, I want to forgive this person and I want it just to be the way it used to be and we're all happy, sometimes it doesn't work that way. It takes time, it's a process, and you've got to be patient. If you want things to be great again between you and somebody else and they're not, it could possibly be because you are still working through your forgiveness. The moment we say I want to, it starts happening. But like I said, it can take time. And one situation that me personally I had to deal with similar to this, took about 5 years until this was okay. But that was my own stuff, and this was years ago. That was my own stuff. So it's not always going to take 5 years. Sometimes it can become instant when you say, right, that's it, I'm letting it go. I'm going to give patience, I'm going to give compassion and send love and kindness to this person. It can dissolve almost immediately sometimes. And so that is step 3. Send the person love and kindness. Even if this person has hurt you so badly, it doesn't necessarily have to just be a person. It can be an institution or a company or a situation that you're not forgiving. Send this love and kindness, but bring it back to a person. If it's a person who has really, really hurt you and you think, there's no way, I hate them, there's no way I can send this person love and kindness. It's actually okay if it doesn't feel real or doesn't feel honest. Just do it anyway, because it's extremely powerful. It's a very powerful way of removing this poison from your system, because actually when you're in that place, it's very toxic. So you want to stay in a space of living in what you really are, which is pure love, and radiating your pure love out. So to do that, you got to try and do those tips, try those tips. So how do you know when the resentment, or you have forgiven somebody, how do you know when it's gone? Because when you think of that person, you're not bothered by them anymore. When you see them, it's just like anyone else. It's not a big deal. So if you're still getting hurt or disturbed maybe, or uncomfortable, you know that you still haven't forgiven this person. But it's a process, and you have to be gentle with yourself and know that it's going to happen, and that you actually sometimes cannot control it by yourself, which is why you need to keep sending love and kindness. And when I say control it by yourself, you have to wait till it organically really leaves you, and organically the forgiveness has come in. And like I said, that'll be when you're in this person's company and you just feel kindness towards them and everything is fine and it's very relaxed. So if you're in that space of feeling uncomfortable or not sure or still hurt, then the unforgiveness is being worked through. And like I said, it's a process. So guys, I hope that helped you today. And of course, if you missed the start of the video, please watch the replay. And remember, we want to be radiating positive energy, and it starts with you, and it starts in a place of trying to forgive. And in some cases, I never mentioned this, but in some cases, forgiveness will start with yourself, because sometimes we have deep resentment for ourselves, and it needs to start within first before it can radiate out. So guys, I leave you with that, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.